Japanese mothers rarely tell their toddlers no. Let that sit for a second. No timeouts, no raised voices, no long lectures about behavior. And yet, somehow, their kids grow into some of the calmest, most cooperative children researchers have studied. Here's the thing. This isn't about strict rules or secret discipline tricks. It's the opposite. It's about what happens when a parent stops fighting a child's nervous system and starts working with it. If you're a loving parent who sometimes yells more than you'd like or feels guilty after a hard bedtime, you are not broken and you are not alone. Every parent on earth has done something on this list without knowing it. Stick around because number 4 is the one most parents do every single day without realizing it's quietly working against them. And by the time we get to number 7, you'll never look at your child's meltdowns the same way again. Let's start with number 1. The first secret is this. Japanese parents almost never punish a young child for crying. Now, most parents raise their voice or say stop crying when a toddler melts down, not because they're unkind, but because the noise is overwhelming and it feels like something needs to be fixed immediately. But here's the flip. Crying isn't misbehavior. It's a release valve for a nervous system that's still under construction. Dr. Edward Tronick's famous still face research showed that babies become distressed almost instantly when a caregiver's face goes flat and unresponsive, and calm again the moment connection returns. Every time a child's big feeling is met with connection instead of correction, it wires their brain to trust that emotions are survivable, not shameful. The small shift is simple. Next time your child cries, try saying, "I'm right here," before you try to stop the crying itself. And that idea, presence over correction, is exactly what secret number 2 takes even further. The second secret is called mimamoru, which roughly means watching over without stepping in. Most parents jump in fast when a child struggles because watching them fail feels unbearable. That's just love in action. But the flip is this. Constant rescuing quietly tells a child's brain, you can't handle this without me. Researchers studying autonomy and child development, including work out of the University of Rochester on self-determination theory, have found that children given appropriate space to struggle build stronger problem-solving pathways in the prefrontal cortex, the brain's center for reasoning and self-control. Over time, this either builds quiet confidence or quiet dependence, depending on how much room a child is given to try. The small shift is small but powerful. Count to 10 silently before stepping in the next time your child struggles with something safe.
That patience is also the hidden ingredient behind secret number 3. The third secret is that Japanese caregivers rarely say good job for everything. Most Western parents praise constantly because we want our kids to feel encouraged and confident, a completely loving instinct. But the flip is surprising. Research on praise, including work by psychologist Carol Dweck on mindset, shows that praising effort, you worked hard, builds resilience, while praising outcomes, you're so smart, can make children fragile around failure. This is because outcome praise ties a child's identity to results instead of to the process. Long-term, this shapes whether a child's brain treats mistakes as information or as threats. The small shift is a simple swap. Instead of "good job," try "I saw how hard you tried." And that difference between effort and outcome sets up something even bigger. Because number 4 is the one I teased at the very start, and it might be the most surprising one yet. I promised you this one would change how you see ordinary moments, and here it is. Japanese parents treat daily routines, not big lessons, as the real teacher. Most parents feel pressure to teach through explanation, sitting a child down to explain sharing, patience, or kindness in words. But the flip is that young children learn far more through repeated routine and modeling than through lectures, because their brains are still building the language pathways needed for complex reasoning. Developmental psychologists studying observational learning, building on Albert Bandura's work on modeling, have shown that children absorb behavior mainly by watching it repeated, not by being. This means the way you fold laundry, greet a neighbor, or handle a frustrating morning is quietly becoming your child's blueprint. This small shift is freeing. Instead of explaining a value, just let your child watch you live it, one ordinary moment at a time. That idea, that small moments matter more than big lessons, leads into something a little unexpected in secret number 8. The 8th secret might surprise you. Japanese parents often let young children experience mild frustration without immediately smoothing it over. Most of us rush to fix frustration fast because seeing our child upset feels like something has gone wrong that needs immediate repair. But the flip is that mild, manageable frustration, a puzzle piece that won't fit, a zipper that sticks, actually builds something researchers call distress tolerance, the ability to stay regulated inside discomfort. Psychologists studying frustration tolerance in early childhood have found that children who never experience manageable struggle often have a harder time regulating bigger emotions later, not an easier one. Removing all frustration doesn't protect a child's nervous system, it can leave it underprepared. The small shift is to pause a beat longer than feels comfortable before helping, giving your child a small chance to work through it first. That same restraint, waiting instead of rescuing, becomes something much quieter and more emotional in secret number 9. The 9th secret is subtle, and most parents never even notice they're doing it. Japanese caregivers often wait for a child to finish a full thought or feeling before responding. Most of us respond quickly, sometimes even before our child finishes speaking, because we're eager to help, reassure, or move things along. But the flip is that this small habit of waiting communicates something enormous to a child's developing sense of self, that their inner world is worth fully hearing. This quiet form of attentive listening reflects what attachment researchers describe as attunement, a caregiver's ability to accurately sense and respond to a child's actual emotional state, not just their surface behavior. Over time, children who experience consistent attunement tend to develop a steadier sense of their own emotional signals, rather than second-guessing what they feel. This small shift is almost invisible. Simply let your child finish their sentence, even the slow, meandering ones, before you respond. And now we come to the 10th secret, the one I saved for last, because it isn't really about your child at all. It's the most important and the most misunderstood of everything we've covered. This is the one I saved for last, and the most misunderstood. It isn't a technique. It's not something you do to your child at all. The 10th secret is this: a calm child almost always starts with a regulated parent. Most of us focus entirely on our child's behavior because that's the part we can see, the crying, the meltdown, the resistance. But the flip is quietly profound. Children don't just react to what you say. Their nervous systems actually pick up on yours in real time, through a process researchers call co-regulation. Dr. Stephen Porges's work on polyvagal theory helps explain this. A child's sense of safety is shaped moment to moment by the felt safety of the adult beside them. This means your own breath, your own tension, your own unspoken stress is quietly shaping your child's baseline sense of safety in the world. The small shift here isn't about your child at all. It's about you. Before you respond to a hard moment, take one slow breath first. Not for them, for you, because a regulated parent regulates their baby. If you're feeling a little tender right now, or maybe even a little exposed, that's okay. That's what happens when we look closely at love. None of this was ever about finding what you're doing wrong. You don't have to be a perfect parent. Research on good enough parenting reminds us that connection isn't about never rupturing. It's about consistently returning, repairing, and reconnecting. The fact that you watched this whole video means you're already the parent your baby needs. So tonight, when your child looks up at you in that quiet, unguarded way they do, really look back. That's not a small moment. That's the whole story.